It finally happened. The long-awaited remake for Persona 4 finally just got revealed at Xbox's latest game showcase. Okay, I know that there were rumblings on Twitter from Yosuke's old voice actor from Persona 4 Golden saying that he will not be reprising his role, and I think that's the first confirmation of this game's existence besides the leaks. I'm not fully aware. However, what is important now is that it has been revealed, and holy shit, this game looks good. I mean, it looks good. Seriously, it looks great, and I mean, we didn't even see any battle footage yet, which it might be, okay, I might be ranting too early, but I'm talking graphically, like, wow. Persona 3 Reload looked good, but in certain spots, it looked a little janky. You could look too close at a texture, and it just starts to feel a little off. The tree might look a little bad, but in this brief, and I mean super brief teaser, we got the smallest bit of gameplay footage. Seriously, we got edged really hard. I'm talking 2 seconds of you running down the street. It's already so peak. This trailer genuinely was a teaser, and as far as I'm aware, there is not a confirmed release date as of yet for Persona 4 Remake. And with what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing speculation is an early 2026 release, which makes 2026 even more stacked. Holy, but that's a topic for another day. But today I want to talk about a couple of potential issues that people might have with this remake and what it means as a whole, at least from my perspective and what I can tell, for what Atlus will make in the future. So basically I'm saying my opinion is fact and my word is law. Also, how did Atlus miss the most obvious title of all time in Persona 4 Rewind? Seriously, it was right there. Also, if you disagree or agree with anything I'm saying or just want to comment, leave a comment down below. I try to respond to every comment, but with that, let's get right into it. Firstly, the most important matter at hand. Yosuke's voice actor will not be returning, which in all honesty is kind of scary. One of the biggest reasons that people love Persona 4 so much is because of the cast, which I believe is the best cast in modern Persona. Yes, better than Persona 5's. And I don't think I've genuinely laughed out loud this much in any single player game. Even when I was just chilling, some of the writing and delivery was just perfect. And it could be a potentially bad omen that one of the biggest voice actors in the previous game will not be returning. However, in my opinion, I don't think it's cause for too much worry. I think Atlus knows the impact of proper dialogue and writing and voice acting and won't let it become something, you know, drastically, totally unrecognizable. However, I do think it's a little weird because Yosuke's voice particularly I think is really iconic, but shit, that's unfortunate. Another thing to note is that one of the biggest problems that people had with Persona 3 Reload was how it was missing a large amount of content from the various different versions of the game. I mean, Persona 3 had an infinite amount of versions, and they all had slight different changes, but I mean still, that wouldn't make it impossible to create an ultimate edition with every single thing, instead of releasing an incredibly overpriced DLC after saying the game won't receive DLC. And I don't know, it was like 40 bucks. Holy shit, dude. I haven't even played that and I love Persona. I just can't justify spending 40 bucks on that small ass DLC. Okay, that's a topic for another day, but I mean, Persona 3 Reload still is missing large parts of previous Persona 3 titles, like the female protagonist. I mean, modders are putting it in before Atlus did. And this makes me kind of think how will Persona 4 Revival handle its DLC? Persona 4 did only have one additional version, being Golden, with substantially less content differences between the two, as opposed to all the Persona 3 versions. And in my mind, it would be insane for Atlus to not include the Golden content. However, I think it totally could happen where they exclude it, who knows. Also, another point of contention with remakes in recent years is that it always creates a divide in the community. I can't remember a time when a remake in recent years didn't have people claiming, oh, the atmosphere, the vibe is just different from this game to this game. The newer version, like, kidifies it. Two games that come to mind when talking about this are the Demon's Souls remake as well as Persona 3 Reload, with a good amount of people claiming that the newer version of the game loses the charm of the original. This might just be inevitable, however, I mean, there will always be aesthetic differences when you're graphically upgrading stuff or changing gameplay mechanics. However, I wonder how much they're going to change for Persona 4, because I mean, pretty much the battle mechanics are very modern. It doesn't have the Persona 5 like shift, baton pass, or whatever you want to call it. I think if they do add that, it would really subtract from the difficulty of this game, because I do think Persona 4 has a good difficulty going. Also, Atlus is now out of remakes for the modern Persona games. Hopefully, unless they somehow justify making Persona 5 Royale Reloaded Rewind. in the next couple of years, which would be insane. Seriously, Persona 6 might be light years away at this point with all these remakes, but I mean, hey, let them have time to cook. Also, please, Atlas, set it in college and not high school for Persona 6. Another thing that's interesting is that all the modern Persona games will finally be modern and up to 2020 standards and be able to be compared on equal footing without old game mechanics bogging them down. However, I think Persona 4 Golden still holds up really well, and to be honest, it's still probably my favorite in the series despite not having a remake. And I mean, I'm just glad that people that maybe haven't been able to play Persona 4 or don't want to because the fear is too old or too janky will be able to play a modernized version of it. To be honest, that was me with Persona 3. I didn't even know how to get into it, and by the time I got around to Persona 3, I heard the remake was already coming out, so to be honest, I just waited for that, and I think I made the right decision. I'm also interested to see how they might potentially remake certain scenes if they're seen as dated or too risque. I know they did that with a couple of Persona 3 scenes, like the beach one. I just really hope they don't change Kanji's story or any story really. I feel, especially Kanji, he's an amazing character with good subtleties, and it can be easily misconstrued or misinterpreted. And as he is in Persona 4 Golden, I think is perfect. And I really hope they don't butcher it or any other storylines. Overall, I'm just hyped. We finally got a reveal trailer, and I'm just excited to see how good Persona 4 can get. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.